Hey students, today we're going to be talking about Chapter 16, Lesson 1 on the social reforms during the Second Great Awakening. During the 1800s, some Americans believed that the nation was becoming too secular and wanted to turn the nation towards God. During this time, people were creating these new ideas about faith and broke them into two categories. Deism, where they believed that God was a clockmaker and could explain everything with observational world through reason. They would deny any basis in the Bible and the salvation of Jesus. Unitarianism would deny the true God of the Bible and would instead believe that the goodness of humans' decisions would dictate their salvation. This would disturb many Americans, including Charles Grandison Finney and Reverend James Finley. During this time, people would gather together to hear and witness the Word of God. They would pray, sing, and scream and shout their faith to God when they go to these gatherings. Many wanted to create their own communities and make a perfect society. These utopias were based on different ideas from the Bible or other religious texts. A greater majority of these utopias would fail, but the Mormons would create a community of their own in Utah that would have a lasting effect even to today. The revival in faith would shine a light on the troubles of the home and society. Christian organizations would support and lobby for the temperance movement. This movement wanted the sale of alcohol limited or banned altogether. This would lead to many states to pass laws to limit the sale of alcohol. These would be repealed in later years, but demonstrates the power of the movement. The revival would also seek to change the way that education was administered. During this time, schools were not funded very well and teachers were poorly trained. Through the efforts of people such as Horace Mann, education would become seen as important to be seen as important for someone's economic opportunity. It was primarily young white males that would receive education, as African Americans were denied access, and women because they were seen as homemakers and didn't need to have an education. This movement would also reform the education of those with disabilities. Thomas Galante would open the Harvard School for the Deaf in Connecticut in 1917. At the same time, Samuel Gridley Howe began to print books with raised letters so people would be able to read with their fingers, and this was made by Louis Braille. That's where it gets its name. The revival would also take aim at the treatment of prisoners. In 1841, Dorothea Dix would visit prisons to help to find people chained to the wall with little to no clothes. Some did not even commit a crime and they were just simply mentally ill. Dix would lead for the foundation of mental facilities and the treatment of prisoners. Alright students, we'll talk more the next time that we are together. Please make sure that you are reading your books, wash your hands, do not touch your face, and do not go outside.